And I think everybody goes through this at some point where they're just like, I'm done with it. I can't do it anymore. But if you get to this point and you quit, you will never, ever speak Spanish fluently. It's not going to happen. Hola, mis amigos, y bienvenidos a Dream Chaser Travels Latin America. What's up, people, and welcome back to Dream Chaser Travels Latin America. My name is Chase. I'm a 19-year-old who loves Latin American culture and the Spanish language. In this video, I will be giving you all some tips on how to learn Spanish. Sometimes we get to a point when we learn Spanish that we just are like, oh, I'm at a plateau. I don't know what to do next. I don't feel like I'm learning. I don't feel like I'm gaining knowledge, but I'm so mad because I really want to gain this knowledge. That's something that's just inevitable when you learn a new language. Because we as humans, we just want constant knowledge, but sometimes our brain cannot handle it. This plateau comes at different times for different people. Sometimes it comes in the beginning. You're learning your simple phrases like, Hola, ¿cómo estás? Estoy bien, but you get everything confused and you don't understand conjugation and you're just like, what is this mess? And then for other people, it happens at a more intermediate level when you're like, okay, yeah, I speak Spanish, I understand Spanish. Then you walk into a situation where you need to use Spanish and you freeze. You don't know what to say, you can't understand, they're talking too fast. This happens very, very often. In fact, to me, both of these things have happened some. At the beginning, it's like, this is impossible. I'm never going to get this. And then you start to learn more, and you start to become confident, and then you're thrown into a situation, and you totally lose your confidence. This is a struggle that many language learners will face, no matter what language you're learning. Many English learners struggle with this too. I've actually had the opportunity to help out with ESL, English Second Language learners, and this happens too. They feel like they understand, but it's like, I still can't communicate. The question is, how can we overcome this? In short, you can, but you gotta keep trying. You have to keep moving. If you get frustrated with Español, with Spanish, if you get frustrated and say, I'm done, and I think everybody goes through this at some point where they're just like, I'm done with it. I can't do it anymore. But if you get to this point and you quit, you will never, ever speak Spanish fluently. It's not going to happen. If you quit and walk away and never come back. But if you keep moving along, keep pushing, keep doing what you feel like you need to do, you will eventually get to that level of good communication. Don't ever let anyone tell you that you cannot do it, because that's not true. You can. Our brains are made to do it. Do you speak English right now? Okay, then you can probably learn a second language. It is harder for certain people than others. That is true. That is very true. Some people have just a great gift when it comes to language learning. Others do not. But it can happen. You can do it. Do not quit. Here's a couple of tips that I have for getting past the plateau. First of all, get accountability. Get somebody that will hold you accountable. How's your Spanish going along? How are you doing with your language learning? It doesn't have to be Spanish, it can be whatever. In my case, it was Spanish, and many of you all, it will be Spanish as well. So, how's your Spanish going? Get somebody that's willing to ask. In fact, oftentimes it's good for this person to be a native speaker or someone else who already speaks the language you're wanting to learn, Spanish. This is very important because when you're alone and you're trying to continue to learn a language, it's going to be almost impossible to do without some people around you that hold you accountable. Because without accountability, when you get to the point where you say, I'm gonna quit, when you get to that point, 50-50 chance you're probably gonna quit, walk away, and never come back. But if you have your accountability partner, if you will, if you have that person and they continue pressing you and asking you, hey, how's your Spanish going? How's your Spanish coming along? ¿Cómo va tu español? That will help you a ton, because It's going to be somebody that you're like, oh, I have to see this person. They're going to ask me, but I don't want to study, but I have to because I know they're going to ask me how my Spanish is going, right? Another great tip is put your life in Spanish. If you put your life in Spanish, it's going to be hard to leave. It's going to be very hard to leave. Now, what do I mean by this? Pretty much, it's super important that you change your phone to Spanish. That's my first thought. If you're like beginner, this may not be a great idea because you might just get really confused and not learn anything and just not know what the heck's going on. But if you're not a beginner and you're more intermediate, change your phone to Spanish. You will not, know every single word. That's not going to happen. But it will help you so much because what are people on all the time? Their phones. People are always on their cell phone. You get a text message and it doesn't say message or text message, it says mensaje. And in your brain you go, oh, I just got a mensaje. Okay? So this is how it works, If you put your phone in Spanish and then you're going through Instagram, you're going to see publicación instead of post. You're going to see me gusta instead of like. You're going to see comentario instead of comment. You're going to see all of these things in every single app, pretty much, if you put your phone in Spanish. And that's going to start to stick in your brain. Now, if somebody hands me their phone to show me something and I see their phone in English, it almost confuses me. Of course I understand it. I'm a native English speaker, but I don't look at my phone. My phone is in Spanish. All my devices are in Spanish. And so that's all I see all the time. So when I get on an English phone and it says, like images or pictures or photo, I get confused because I'm like, it just looks weird to my brain because I'm thinking, foto? Video? Okay, so you get the point. If your life can be in Spanish, if you watch TV in Spanish, if you read in Spanish, if you listen to music in Spanish, if your phone is in Spanish, that's the most important, you will probably not leave the language. I cannot imagine putting my phone back into English. I just don't want to do it. I don't like that. That's not something I enjoy. When I get on my phone in Spanish, I enjoy looking at my phone and looking at things and learning new words because there's still sometimes a setting thing will come up and it'll have a word I don't know. Well, that helps me to learn it right there and it sticks in my brain. And lastly, another big recommendation I have to continue learning Spanish is to think about your end goal. Think about your end goal. Now, what do I mean by this? What's your goal? Ask yourself, what is my goal in learning Spanish? What's my goal? What do I want to accomplish with Spanish? For me, I wanted to communicate with other people in the world. I wanted to be able to communicate with people that maybe don't look like me or live where I live because I have a passion for those people and I want to communicate with those people. For you, it may be, I just want to be able to speak it. I've got a friend who doesn't speak much English and I wish I could speak with him or her a little more. There you go. That's fine. That's a good goal. Maybe you don't want to be fluent. Maybe your goal is just to have a little communication. That's perfectly fine. Maybe your goal is, I've always dreamed about being a traveling doctor going overseas. Well, you probably need to have more than just English to do that. English is great, but remember, pretty much this whole side of the earth, if you live in the United States, this whole side of the earth, we have Canada, which English and French. We have the US, Mexico, and all of Central America and South America and the Caribbean. Majority of these places speak either English or Spanish. So if you can speak both of those languages, you can communicate with virtually most people, minus Brazil, virtually anybody on this side of the world. And that's really an incredible feeling. It really is. So think about your goal. If you have a goal in mind and you know that's what you want, it's going to be very hard to stop Spanish and to just give up because you're never going to reach your goal if you quit. You're never going to reach your goal if you quit. In my opinion, it's something we continue learning every single day. It's something we grow in every single day. Language is not meant to just be learn and done because you're always growing your vocabulary. You're always growing your grammar even. I mean, there's things in English, my native language, probably just like you, we make mistakes in every single day. But one day we will learn those things, but it's just slow progression every single day. Do not give up. That's the most important thing. Do not quit. Do not give up. Because it's really important that if you have a goal, that you accomplish that goal. Do not quit. And something that's really important is that you just have to be passionate about it. You have to have a passion for it. Kids and students go through school all the time and take Spanish classes, but they don't care at all. They just want a grade. And so they get right through Spanish. And then you ask them 2 years later, hey, do you know any Spanish? And they say, oh, I took 3 classes in high school, but I don't remember anything. They don't remember anything because they didn't want to remember anything. If you want to remember something, you will. If you have a passion about it, you will learn it. You will remember things. If you don't have a passion about it, like majority of students in high school, middle school, whatever, then yeah, you're probably not going to learn it. You're probably not going to become fluent or even speak well because you just don't care. So if you don't feel like you have a passion for it, it's going to be very hard to have the motivation to do it because it's not an easy process. Many people think language learning is just, oh, well, if I, watch one show of blah, blah, blah in Spanish, then I'm going to speak it pretty well. Try it and see how that works for you. It's not gonna. So just keep that in mind. Have a passion for it. If you have a passion for it, you'll get it. You'll get it. If you don't, it's going to be tough, but it's still achievable. Thanks a lot for watching this video. I hope it was super beneficial to you. Gracias por ver este video. And something I like to say at the end of every video, if you're an intermediate student or an intermediate speaker, you will understand me. Siempre persigue tus sueños. Always chase your dreams. Gracias.